hello. I'm so glad to see you again so soon. I hope we didn't scare you off too bad, right? That's good to hear. Well, welcome to my office for the time being. Now, I get shifted around quite a bit, and I think that you won't see me here maybe but a few times, but it's an office. Let me see. Got to get your file. And how are you doing on this afternoon, Agent Crow? Yeah. I bet you're incredibly excited to get started with some Bureau of the Occult business, right? Let me see. There we are. Wonderful. Let me just put that back. We'll take a look. How's your research coming, by the by? Have you found any creepy, sort of haunting creatures that lurk in the dark? Any of them interest you? Yes. Very exciting work this can be. Not that I would know, I just research it, but if you can't find them, research them. It's the next best thing. So, my dear, dear Agent Crow, you obviously know who I am. I don't imagine you'll see any different faces in the Bureau for a little bit of time. At least, not while you're in the probationary period. So, let's see. We have your application here. And so far, everything checks out. I guess today we get to do your background check, if you will. Now, here at the Bureau, we do something a little different than your standard background check. Here at the Bureau, we like to take a look at things that pertain a little bit more to us, right? We'll be looking at your aura a bit. I think that we should probably take a look at that head of yours. Yes, we do a little bit of phrenology, and I think these two hands of yours will also bode well for our background check of sorts. And we'll take a look at those with some palmistry. So, do you have any questions for me before we begin? Anything perhaps you'd like to confess? Wonderful. Well, I will have to warn you, I will find just about everything that goes on in that little head of yours, or anything that's really gone on in your life. So, I won't try to embarrass you, but I may have to just confirm some details with you if I find anything that perhaps confuses me a little bit. So, again, nothing too intentionally embarrass you, but I do have to ask questions. That's my job. Okay, so let's start with the aura reading. I've been doing this for a long time. It usually doesn't take me very long unless there's something particularly odd about one, but I'll just have you sit comfortably as you can. If you want to just arrange yourself in however's most comfortable for you, I'm just going to take a look at you as a whole, and I might just sketch a bit here what your aura looks like to me. Just getting my preliminary person drawing. Okay. So I have a drawing of you, and now I'm just going to come in maybe just a bit closer, and I just want to kind of look all around you. Okay. Let me see. So, one of the reasons that I'm here, not out on the field, is because when we are interviewing our candidates and we are taking their background checks, I don't see, for example, auras like my comrades do. I see pictures, not colors. And someday you may have to learn how to read auras. It's really not very hard at all. But most likely you will see the aura as different bands of color. And I, on the other hand, see almost like a mural. And perhaps that's maybe the biggest reason that I am stuck here, researching. Not that I might, but I see the picture of a person, picture of their moods as they are. And it might be a little chaotic to someone who is not familiar with how I interpret these auras. But I can explain it much better than I can teach someone how to read what I've drawn. So, I can show you maybe just a little bit. As I have you sitting here, you're quite a bit regular in most of your aura. I see some almost flower shapes, but there is some chaos. That's a little irregular. It's mostly in this area as well as this area. And everyone has a little bit of chaos. That's really not something out of the ordinary, but it's interesting to see these little flower motifs right here. See almost a rose and almost a lotus here, another lotus, but most of it is rather regular. So while it looks like just a tangle of strings and, well, random drawing to you, I can interpret your moods and your general constitution as a person, if you will. And overall, as this is generally quite regular, except for the little bits of chaos here, really as a whole, you are quite a strong person. Those little motifs with the flowers suggest that you can be a little creative, a little imaginative, maybe almost innovative, and that can come in quite handy here, really. But the rest of it looks really quite regular for what I'm looking for. So I don't think that that will be too much of an issue. However, your chaos does concern me just a titch, more so that it interferes with what I'm doing. It almost seems like static. Staticky, staticky, static. So I kind of want to take care of that real quick, if you don't mind. Yeah, it's real simple. I keep this in the office because, well, I need it a lot. A lot of our agents can have quite a bit of chaos, and it's really quite noisy. Don't like it too much. So it's another reason why I stay on the floor, really, in this office. It may sound kind of stupid, but it really grounds me, just the pressure. So the floor is much preferable. So I don't think I introduced you to Rupert, did I? This is one of my constant companions. That's Rupert. I wouldn't stare at him too closely, though. He's really quite shy. Doesn't like that too much. But I'm just going to get some matches here and light the stick of palo santo and just wave it around you. And palo santo helps to neutralize energies. I don't need to necessarily make them go away, but at least for the time being, I'd like to neutralize it. Now, the only thing with palo santo is that it's a bitch to get lighted. Christ almighty. Even if I can get just a little bit of smoke, that's really all I need. Are you there yet? Just a little bit. Good. We're smoldering a bit, so I will just light one more. Make sure we're keeping it hot. There we go. That's enough. There's just little tendrils of smoke. Since we won't be using this long, it's really all I need. There we are. So, dear, I just would like you to relax, please. Your chaos puts me off a little bit, but most people put me off. So, I'm just going to gently swirl my palo santo stick over you, over your aura. It smells quite pleasant. Much better than white sage. Christ almighty, if I want to walk into a gym bag full of sweaty ball sacks, then I'll light up some sage. But I'd really not rather live my high school experience all over again. There we are. Good, you're doing really well. If you need to, if you feel like the chaos might be licking up a little bit, just take a few deep breaths for me. Really dig your feet into the floor. Feel the pressure on your arms, on your legs, the space around you. There we are. Very good. I think I'm quite pleased with that. Let me just jot a few notes down regarding your aura reading. Great. Now, we're going to work on the palmistry bit. Now, let me see here. Which one do I want to start with? Which hand are you dominant with? Great. Then I'll do the other one first. So, if you wouldn't mind just giving me your hand. Very good. Okay. So I'm just going to warm up your hand between my hands here. And then we're going to take a look. So, palmistry has been used for quite a long time, right? It's been used for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years. And it's been used by people of all different cultures, nations, ethnic groups, what have you. It's a rather universal type of divination. And palmistry can tell us quite a bit about the inner workings of you and a little bit about your future. So, of course, in a normal palm reading, we're mostly focusing on the heart line, the head line, the fate line, and the lifeline. And while I'll be looking at these a little bit, I'm also going to be looking at some miscellaneous lines that don't generally make it into the textbooks. So, let's take a look here. So, let's look firstly at your headline here. Okay, that's looking very nice and strong. So, a lot of potential here. And your heart line, yes, you're a very passionate individual. So, once you get your head into something, you are there for it. There are some breaks, though, here. So there have been some troubles, and there may be more troubles ahead that you can't quite wrap your head around. They're very unpredictable, so it may not be your fault that these things have happened, unfortunately. And let's see. Okay, good curved lifeline here. Although there's a lot of chaining here. There's a lot of little breaks and little islands. So that leads to a rather uncertain life. I can't tell exactly which way you're going or where you'll end up, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just means uncertain. And let's take a look at your fate line here. Ooh, very, very faint, but that does... Okay, it starts at the base of your thumb here, goes between your middle and ring fingers, but that's very curved. Very, very curved. Let's see. Yeah, that is quite curious. I think I'll save that tidbit for my notes. And let's see. Okay. I'm going to be checking some lines here. I'm looking somewhat around your lifeline. And these little lines are almost inconspicuous. But they're going to tell me how well you can adapt with things that are not of the normal mortal realm. Some people are very rigid and will not accept any sort of otherworldly thing unless it, accepts all laws of this realm, of this earth, of physics. So these would be our true skeptics. And some people will believe so deeply that they're extremely gullible and, well, they're almost too entrenched in the other worlds that they're not able to stay in this one. But you look like, while you have just a touch of a rigid nature, which means your feet will be firmly planted in this realm, you will be able to believe what you see and have a little bit of flexibility in that, which is good. Take everything with a grain of salt, right? And another line that I so lovingly and dearly call the Myrtle lines. And it seems that you do not have any Myrtle lines, which is good. I don't have to worry about you turning on anyone, really, for any reason. You don't have that sort of violent nature that I maybe would be concerned about. So, you'd be surprised at how many agents can kill either informants or other agents, or maybe on a capture and like a taken bag rescue sort of mission, they may end up killing the target. They don't make very good agents, but most people don't look for those Myrtle lines. So, you seem to be all good though. Now I'm just going to take a look at your other hand real quick, and this will be mostly to just confirm what I've seen. So I'm just going to warm up your hand a bit between my hands. Okay, let's take a look. So this one's looking very similar in the story, except this one, your lifeline is broken up quite a bit more, which deeply follows our uncertain trajectory for your life. Let's see, your heart line is very, very clear in this one, a lot deeper. Your headline here is quite a bit chained. So there's a lot of uncertainty in your life. So a lot of not sure which way to go, which way to take, where you'll end up. But we can work with that. Fate line's clean. And myrtle lines non-existent. And your ties to this world and belief in the next. Okay, same story. A little bit of rigidity, but nothing too crazy. I think you'll be able to do the job well. Let me take some notes down here. Alright, and finally for your background check, I'm going to get a pair of examination gloves. And we are going to do a phrenology examination on you. Now, phrenology is the idea that the personality of oneself is sculpted into the head almost. So there are many, many different organs regarding emotions primarily, and abilities, language and whatnot. And they are present in the contours of the skull. And when a certain organ is maybe not very well developed, there might be a sunken in spot, which means you are deficient in that area. If it's normal, without any ridges or any divots, then that would be a normal organ. Some people may have a sort of bump on their head, a raised area, and this would suggest that the organ is overdeveloped, which you like to have mostly a balance of everything. There are certain things that we look for to be underdeveloped or overdeveloped, but overall it's really a painless process. It might seem a little odd because I'm going to be palpating your skull quite a bit, but again, it shouldn't be unpleasant by any means. If you feel any pain or discomfort, please let me know. But really, it should be kind of relaxing, really, to have someone just rub on your head a bit. I saw that in your aura. Don't think about it. Don't even think it. And while I'm here, I might be just a little impolite, and sometimes I like to look a bit in one's memories when I have my hands on their head. So again, if I'm asking for confirmations on certain things, I don't mean to embarrass you. So let me just rearrange myself a bit, and then we'll come in quite a bit closer. So I'm just going to come in here, and I'm just going to be feeling along your head here. Right, so let me see. Whoa, whoa. that's how you started coming on to people when you first started, like, flirting with people? Well, I'm glad you got that out of that one. That was a weird first impression. Keep it in your pants. Don't let it come out. No. Here we are. Alright. Okay. Yeah, there's some weird family memories there. Don't need those. Okay. Yeah. Good relationships with friends. It's a good one. Okay. Wow, you got caught for doing that, really? Huh. Alright. I mean, that's kind of a weird one, but it's not like I haven't seen that before. And let's see. Okay, we're in here. Yeah. Ooh, that one's a little embarrassing. Okay, I'll keep that one to myself. Didn't need that. Okay. Let's see. So really, I mean, of course there's some bad memories here, but nothing alarming, nothing that most people haven't gone through. But this one's a little recent. It's almost got a bit of a cloud over it, though. I'm going to hold on to your head. I want to just take a look at that memory a bit more. Maybe. Okay, there we are. I'm just going to sit here for a moment. So, you've already had a little bit of an encounter with some otherworldly things, haven't you? You didn't happen to mention that you went to the in-between when we were filling out your application. That would have been a good bit of information to know. Well, I'm not happy with you, but seems like an otherwise normal visit, but really, why were you going to a golf galaxy? Who the hell does that? Who the hell plays golf? Anyway. Okay, so most of your organs here are fairly normal, within normal limits. Your combativeness organ is just a touch underdeveloped, which is good, but as I was thinking before, your imaginativeness organ, that one's quite a bit overdeveloped. Very fanciful sort of person you seem to be. Your inquisitiveness organ over here, that's not necessarily overdeveloped, but not necessarily normal either. Which, it's good to ask questions. Maybe not too many questions, though. You can tell your candor's normal, which is good. Secretiveness is within normal limits. There is an amount of secretiveness that we need in this job. Okay, let's see. Let me check around your face a bit. Okay, let me just check around your ears here. palpate just around here. Okay. And the other side. Just gonna palpate a little bit. Okay. All seems to be really quite normal. So I think that I am quite pleased with that. So I'm just gonna take just another run through here. Make sure I get a summary of your memories. Oh, there's one. So yeah, you know that one encounter when you were like 16 or so? You know the one? Yeah, they were really hitting on you. Well, you've been debating it for years, I'm telling you, they were. I mean, it's a lost cause now, but just figured you should know. Alrighty. Well, I mean, other than being a little scrubby when you were younger, which everyone's gotta have a scrub phase, everything seems pretty normal, really. So, I think that we're all good to go. So, I'm gonna take off my gloves here real quick. And I'm just gonna make a few final notes. So, let's see. Now, the next step, my beloved Agent Crow, is, well, you've already been to the in-between, and we need some information. So, I think that to test you, give you a little test, we're going to send you on a mission to the in-between. Now, the bartender there knows just about everything about everyone. You may be able to get that information from them, or you might have to talk to the patrons. I don't know. It's been some time since I've been to the in-between. But we're looking on a bit of information about one of the members of the Saturnalia Society. We haven't talked yet about the Saturnalia Society, but that's going to be a big part coming up, a big mission that we've been working on. We have our eyes on a member of the Fae who is also one of the top 10 most wanted of our paranormal creatures. We are looking for a member of the Fae named Leatrice. We think perhaps that she can give us some very needed information regarding the Saturnalia Society. We don't really have too much info on what they're wanting to do, but we do know that they do have a lot of members of the top 10. That's somewhat concerning. So, your first mission is to go to the in-between and inquire about the Fae Beatrice. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what you have to do to get that information. I just would like to know where she's at, or perhaps some of her recent activities, if you don't mind. How do you get to the in-between? Don't you remember? Here, let me see. Yeah, you remember. Maybe the cloud's a little bit heavy on that, but the bartender said there's always a door. Really, the trick with the in-between is you're looking to go there, and you go there. It's a little cryptic. You know when you know. Also a little cryptic. So, once you complete that mission for us, then I think we'll be able to discuss initiation a little bit. I have some high hopes for you, Agent Crow, and I hope that perhaps we can give you some hopes as well. Alright. It was a pleasure working with you today, and, well, let's see. Gossip Girl's gonna be on in 5, so I'm gonna need you to leave. Yeah, I have to make snacks. Duh. Alright, well, it was a pleasure working with you, and remember to get into the in-between. I'm not gonna see you until you do, and you have the information that I need. Okay. Thank you. Bye now.